Welcome to Parnell Park, and I've checked on Google Maps. We are exactly 2 miles away from Croke Park, and the teams today are within one match of reaching the All-Ireland final on the 5th of September in Croke Park. So they're within touching distance of the big day. There's Westmeath. They have been warming up rigorously over the last 5 or 6 minutes. That's their captain, number 10, and that is Fiona Claffey, who plays her club football in Dublin with Foxrock Cabinteely. And Kildare also have a player who plays her club football in Dublin. That's Erica Burke, who plays for Thomas Davis. And she's quite an interesting backstory. 2 cruciates, 2016 All-Ireland winner with Kildare. Made her debut in 2012, and she's out there today. So they could actually be up against each other, probably. So that would be an interesting one out there. The referee is Brendan Rice. You see him there from County Down. He's already done the toss with the 2 captains out in the middle. That's Fiona Claffey, the aforementioned, and Grace Clifford, the number 12 for Kildare. There's a bit of a breeze, I'd say, going from right to left as you see it there, but not really significant, I wouldn't say. So it's a 2021 All Leinster TG4 Intermediate Championship semi-finals. Laois against Wexford and Kildare against Westmeath. So it's going to be an All Leinster final, obviously, in the final, which will be played as a doubleheader with the senior game. So Laois against Wexford today. We'll keep you up to date with that. 3 other games actually are on as well. That's Carlow against Limerick and Derry against Wicklow in the junior championship. And there's a relegation playoff as well, Roscommon against Longford. All starting at 2 o'clock. We'll keep you abreast of those games as well as seeing what is going on here in Parnell Park. Now, let's go through the teams. Let's start with Kildare. Dervla McGinn in goals from Maynooth. Number 2, Claire Sullivan. An interesting case there. She's actually an aunt of the number 26 from the same club, Carberry, Orla Sullivan. Number 3 is Leisha Lanahan. Number 4, Shauna Kendrick. 5 is Lauren Murta. 6 is Lara Gilbert. 7, as I mentioned before, Erica Burke. And at midfield, you've got the 2 players who are both in the Defence Forces. That's Siobhan O'Sullivan, originally from Sligo, and Grania Keneally, originally from Waterford. In the forwards, you have 2 sisters there, Ciara and Gillian, 10 and 13, from the St Lawrence Club. You have Lara Curran, you have Grace Clifford, the captain, as I mentioned, Nessa Dooley at full forward. She scored 3-9 already in the championship, and Aoife Radigan from Kappa is at 15. Moving on to the Westmeath team. In goals there you have Lauren McCormick from Mullingar Shamrocks, Niamh Spellman, Lorraine Duncan, Tara Fagan, and in the half-back line you have Fiona Coyle, you have Lucy Power, and you have Aoife Brady, who is actually the only change for Westmeath from their previous game. She's in because Rachel Dillon is injured. In midfield there you have Rachel's sister Tracy at number 9, and you have Vicky Carr at number 8. Moving into the forwards, Fiona Claffey, the captain, Leona Archibald, who scored 2-6, a lot of big scoring here, Anna Jones, who scored 115, Ciara Blundell, who scored 2-6, Lucy McCartan, and then Sarah Dillon at corner forward with a massive 3-16. She did a lot of damage in the last game I was at against Sligo. You could nearly say that she turned it round for them and won it that day, because Westmeath have had a few bothers in the championship so far. They lost their opening game to Longford, but they have recovered from there, and in fact their average is quite impressive. I'd say it's about 213. They've scored 211, 212, 216 and 311. Now they've conceded quite a bit as well, but high scoring games, total 9 goals and 50, whereas Kildare, strangely enough, in their first 2 games the final score lines were identical, 111 to 1-7, 111 to 1-7 against Leitrim and Roscommon. So 2 wins there, but then they lost to Laois. So that would indicate that maybe Kildare will be quite tight at the back against the irresistible force, which is the Westmeath forwards. But we're expecting a very exciting game here. So much at stake. Place in the All-Ireland final. And those girls will know what it's like, because they played there last December. Unusual year all round, of course, and they ended up playing there on a cold December day, not September, December day, and they lost to Meath. It was a rip-roaring game, and as I suggested, they got lots of goals that day as well, but also conceded a lot, and they lost. So they are feeling the hurt from that, and they're up against Kildare, who won it in 2016 actually. There's our captain Grace Clifford there with Siobhan O'Sullivan, and although they won it in 2016, 5 years later, they only have 2 starters today from back then, and that's Shauna Kendrick at number 4 and Erica Burke at number 7. The captain back then, Aisling Holton, of course. So big changes in Kildare since then. You could say they're in transition. They've gone away and they are rebuilding again. So Kildare back, but you'd have to say Westmeath the favourites today, after being in the final last year and looking at their recent results, and you could say they've had a tougher way here. They lost to Longford, beat Sligo, beat Wexford, and then beat Clare, whereas Kildare beat Roscommon and Leitrim, and without meaning to disrespect them, I think Westmeath would say they've had a tougher route to the semi-finals here. The Westmeath management, Sean Finnegan with Tommy Carr, who you see there, ex-Dublin, and I know Dublin people might be a little bit sensitive today after what happened yesterday in Croke Park, but he's there along with Carol Finch, Colin McDade, Paula Hearn and Alan Coffey. The Kildare manager is Daniel Moynihan, and as you can see, everyone is poised for the anthem. A little bit of a crowd here in Parnell Park. I'd imagine there's lots more ready to watch online to see who gets through to the final here. Usually we'd have a much bigger crowd here, but very quiet atmosphere in Parnell Park here today, I have to say. Unlike Croke Park up the road, I'm sure there'll be a noisy afternoon there, and of course Cork and Meath ladies play at Croke Park at 3:30 this afternoon. And they're here now, the announcement for the anthem. You see there by the flag, not too much of a wind here today, and the sun is threatening to come out. You see it has brightened up the Westmeath huddle over on the far side of Parnell Park, so a nice day here in North Dublin. Looking forward to a super game. The other semi-final has already started. That's Laois against Wexford in Nolan Park, and as I say, I will try and keep you up to date with the other scores as they come in, but the main focus is in this game in Parnell Park. That Westmeath team, hurting from losing last year's All-Ireland final, hoping to get back again at the first time of asking. And you see there in the middle of the field already a positional switch, because 7 and 10 are in there for Kildare. The 7 is Erica Burke, who I'd mentioned a few minutes ago, plays her club football in Dublin with Thomas Davis. Come back from 2 cruciates, was a 2016 All-Ireland winner, and she's back. And Ciara Wheeler has gone to midfield as well. She's the number 10, and her sister Gillian is at right corner forward, number 13. Whereas Westmeath are going with the more traditional 8 and 9 at midfield, and that's Vicky Carr, son or daughter of Tom Carr, Tommy Carr, who played for Dublin back in the day, and Tracy Dillon is at midfield as well. So we're off, and it's Kildare who get it right away through Burke, and she's taking on the Westmeath defence right away, and the referee is going to bring that back to a free. He waited to see if there was any advantage. Gives the free now, which will be taken by Siobhan O'Sullivan. She goes short, but the defending there was by Lorraine Duncan, who got out in front, but it still ends up back with O'Sullivan. ambitious ball, but a really good ball to Clifford. She took it so well, and Burke has a chance now on her left foot. Looked a little bit hesitant on it, but had time and took her time and used it really well to score the first point of the game. Erica Burke, left half back, number 7, but has started midfield and has just got the first score of the game. 1-0 for Kildare. This is Carr looking for Fiona Coyle, and Fiona gets it to the other Fiona Claffey, the captain. She goes for route 1 into the forwards, and why not when you've got people like Sarah Dillon in there. And Sarah also knows all about cruciates and shoulder injuries, but she's come back from all that. Gets it back to Carr, and very patient play by Westmeath, coming all the way back out the field. This is McCartan. Oh, nice pop ball into space, and it looked like a free to me, and indeed it has been given. Shauna Kendrick came through the back of the forward there, and Brendan Rice immediately awarded a free to Westmeath. This should be an equaliser. Anna Jones has scored 115 in the championship so far from Mullingar Shamrocks, and she connects perfectly. Now the goalkeeper is Dervla McGinn, and she goes short, and she goes to Leisha Lenihan, and it just got there. Kendrick now to Lenihan, Leisha Lenihan, they come back. I've seen quite a few examples in previous weeks where kickouts have been intercepted, and it's been very costly to the defences. Depends on how the other team is pressing, but you see a lot of good pressing these days, and it makes you wonder sometimes whether it's worth going short, but you understand as well that they want to keep possession, and that's worked for Kildare in this move. They've got it to Gillian Wheeler. She's got it to her captain Clifford. She turns nicely inside and gives it back to Wheeler, who takes that confidently and puts it over the bar with her left foot. She's playing on the right, but she comes in on her left. That's perfect for her, and she pops it over, and that's a second point from play for Kildare. Westmeath have scored once, but only from a free. Good confident start by Kildare, and there's been an explosive start in the other semi-final. It's Laois 1-1 and Wexford 1-1. 2 goals already in the opening minutes of the game there at Nolan Park. I'll give you the goal scorers in just a second. Let's go back to the play here at Westmeath. This is McCartan. That's a super pass, and this could create a goal chance. Archibald is there now trying to get in, but look at the defending in there now. They've fouled, but blanket defence in there from Kildare. They really crowded around the player, and they'll be disappointed to give away the free, but they certainly closed the door on any goal chance after that super pass from McCartan. So Wexford's goal was Katrina Murray blasting an unstoppable shot to the net, and Eva Galvin got the goal for Laois. What a start in that game. Now Jones converts as expected, so 2-2 here, and 1-1 to 1-1 in the other semi-final. What a start they have had in that game. Now they go short again, this time to O'Sullivan, the midfielder, who's got all the way back there. Lenihan is the fullback. Oh, and look, there is Aoife Radigan back there, the number 15, but she was very nearly dispossessed there. In fact, I think she was dispossessed, and it looked like they weren't going to get their free. They got their free, and they have also had it moved on as well. But Kildare playing that game at the back, that short game, and now they've gone too short from the free, and Archibald wrestles the ball back and takes it quickly. They're trying to capitalise, and this is Anna Jones, and they've moved it to Dillon, who goes for their first score from play, but screws it to the right and wide under a little bit of pressure there. Westmeath still haven't scored from play, so they haven't settled, which has kind of been the story of their championship so far. They lost their first game to Longford, and they have fired at times, but like against Sligo, for example, they took a long time to get into their rhythm. There's no doubt about the ability in the team, but just not absolutely firing. And Kildare here will be encouraged by the start they have made. They've scored twice from play, and that's good play by Keneally. Getting it out to Wheeler, and that's the Wheeler sisters combining 10 and 13. That's Kira and Gillian comes all the way out now to Nessa Dooley, and there's a crossfield pass to pick out. What a pass that was to Erica Burke, and she's trying to get on her right foot. She's already scored one on her left, and she manages to get her free there. She was hauled down, and Brendan Rice says that's a free in. Good confident play again by Kildare. Good approach work. Nice ball across the field as well by Dooley. Now we're right behind this one, but it's an awkward one for a right footer. Lara Curran from Milltown. And she curls it perfectly over the bar. Almost over the black spot. We'll give her that, certainly. 14 points in the campaign so far. Make that 15. Kildare 3-2 up. Coyle now for Westmeath, the number 5. And it's their turn to go crossfield. This is Dillon to Brady, who's in the team in place of Tracy Dillon's sister Rachel, who's injured. This is more like Westmeath. This is nice football. They do like a kick pass, and they're very good at it. And this is Lucy McCartan, and she frees herself and gets it in behind, and Archibald is there trying to get in for a goal chance, and Jones takes a swing at it and holds her head in her hands because she knew that was a golden goal chance, but she put it wide. But there you can see what Westmeath can do. From the kick out, Burke gets it. They move it on nicely as well to Ciara Wheeler. Intercepted this time though. That's the Westmeath cornerback Niamh Spellman getting out, and now Westmeath enjoying a good period and finding players in space. This is Claffey, the captain. Plays her club football in Dublin. She's spinning through really nicely. There's a goal chance here for Dillon as well, and she puts it into the top of the net expertly off the side of the foot. That's a classy finish, and that's what we expect from her. A few years ago, it must be about 6 years, she scored a famous goal here in Parnell Park as a 14-year-old in an All-Ireland club final at the other end. But she obviously knows where the nets are at both ends, because that's a fantastic finish. 1-2 to 3 now for Westmeath, and after a tight enough start, they have taken control now. Westmeath, Kildare, let's see how they react. They made a very good start to the game with 2 scores from play, and we're in the lead, but they'll be rocked by that goal. This is Burke, and she is playing midfield. Don't be fooled by the number 7. She started the game in midfield. She shoots, kicks right-footed. Now I think she was looking for, I'm not quite sure who she was looking for. One of those girls in the shot, probably one of the Wheelers, but didn't get there. Or Nessa Dooley she might have been looking for, but the run was not forthcoming. Anna Jones for Westmeath, turning her marker inside out, but takes too many steps. Lara Curran goes back to go forwards. So support here from Keneally along the sideline, gets it back. And there's 23 actually for Kildare. That's Nancy Murphy from Kilcullen. Hadn't spotted her yet, but she obviously started the game. This is 12, this is Clifford, and she shoots low, and it goes off the post and wide from the captain. She could have taken her point, but she had goal on her mind. No doubt about that. That was not a miss kick. She went for that one. You see it again here. Got past her marker and thought, go for goal. Goalkeeper might have just about had it covered, but Kildare trying to get a goal of their own at the other end. Unlucky, Clifford. Westmeath goes short, and that's a nice pop pass. Another example of good kick passing from Westmeath. You don't always see that these days, but that's good to see now in this game. Susanna Jones, oh what a pass. There's a perfect example of what I was saying, and that could be another goal, and it is another goal, and it's finished to the net by, is it, I'm trying to see who it is. It's a 14, it's McCartan, of course. McCartan, Lucy McCartan with a low finish, got in behind, and that's the way to take out a blanket defence. Brilliant finishing, and it's 2-2 to 3 points for Westmeath. High challenge there coming in, which Brendan Rice, I think, will be looking to take a name for. He reached for his pocket and his little book right away, and it definitely was high from the Westmeath player, and I'll try to see who it is actually who made that high challenge. And I think it was the number 9 actually, Tracy Dillon. And the referee is first of all attending to the player who is down, so he's not speaking to Dillon, but I imagine he has taken a tick there. He's now talking to the 4th official. That's Maggie Farrelly. But an explosive few minutes there from Westmeath. 2 super goals. Really well created, really well finished as well. They really are classy when they go forward. I did say earlier about their ability to score. They've scored 9 goals and 50 points in 4 games, and they've added to that today. So make that 11 goals and 52 points in the championship so far. Very, very impressive when they go forward. They showed that last year in Croke Park in the All-Ireland final as well. Just checking on the other semi-final for you. Laois against Wexford. The winners of that will play the winners of this. The last we heard it was 1-1 to 1-1 on an explosive start. Haven't heard anything since. There are other games on today which I will keep you up to date with, but let's get back to the play here in Parnell Park. Kildare goalkeeper Dervla McGinn well out of her goals, playing nice composed football. The key is to keep possession, but they've now given it away, and Archibald is there fighting with Lara Gilbert, and Archibald gets the decision. She goes back to Lucy Power. Lucy will come across to Aoife Brady, and she has Tracy Dillon to her left, but she goes back to her right. This is Claffey, this is Dillon, who eventually gets on the ball. Lots of white shirts around her though, and she's dispossessed in there by Kildare. That's good work by Kildare. This is O'Sullivan. She's forced to come back, but a tug on the jersey there means they get a free. And that's Wheeler putting it into 23, Nancy Murphy. Just to pick up on that, she's wearing 23, but she definitely started the game. And that's good link-up play as well with Gillian Wheeler. This is Dooley. She's always dangerous around the goal area, but she's been kept away from there, but still involved in good link-up play, and now she gets a chance. She gives it to Burke, and Burke goes for a right-footed effort from distance. And that's quite an achievement by her, because in the first 13 minutes of the game she has scored 2 points, 1 of her left foot and 1 of her right foot. She's wearing number 7, but playing midfield today and playing extremely well. That's 4 points against 2-2. 4 points in it. And this is where Westmeath are dangerous. Anna Jones with the low ball into Dillon. Good support play. Sarah Dillon again. That's going to drop short, and it's well dealt with by McGinn. I think that might just go over the end line, the sideline rather, and it does. So 4 scores each, but Westmeath have scored 2 goals in that time. And they've looked more dangerous when they get near the goals. They have some excellent finishers. And you could see that in the score lines so far. Kildare have scored 111 and 111 in 2 of their games, exact same scoreline, whereas Westmeath have been racking up 2 and 3 goals a game, and maybe even 16 points in one of their games, 2-16. Throw ball, says the referee. It's Claire Sullivan, number 2 for Kildare, giving it to her goalkeeper, who's very cool under pressure. Kildare persisting with playing the ball out through the hands. And why not when you can play it like this? This is Gillian Wheeler. Corner forward, but she's around the halfway area. And she's bursting through tackle after tackle. That's good strong play from her. And now she plays it into Dooley in the full forward area, but well out on the left. Gets it back to Murphy. And Westmeath have lots of players back, and the referee spots a high arm, and that's a free in, which Dooley will probably take. No, she won't. She'll leave it actually for Lara Curran, but not easy from out there on the left. But Kildare could do with a score here. They've been playing well, but been hit by a few sucker punches on the break, really. And Westmeath have just been much more clinical in front of goal. Now this free goes over the bar. Curran took it really well and makes it 2-2 to 5-3 in it. When it comes to 15 minutes, you're always expecting a water break, but we're now nearly 16 minutes and the ball is back in play. It's Vicky Carr. Claffey does well to step inside. And this is where Westmeath tried to put a decisive pass into the full forward line, but on this occasion they don't get the time or the space. That's good work by the Kildare defence. And now it's their turn to break with Grania Keneally now in support from the Eadstown club. Very experienced player. And I think she was trying to find Murphy there, but was fouled. And will be happy to get the free. Very low scoring elsewhere in the junior championship. Limerick are playing Carlow. They've actually got to the water break. And it's Carlow 2 points, Limerick 1 point. So this is Curran. Scored one a minute ago from over on the other side, and she scores from this side as well. Expert free taking from Lara Curran, showing the full range of skills. And that's brought Kildare back into the contest. It was 2-2 to 4. She's brought them back to within touching distance, to within 2 points, and that will put them in much better form going into the water break. She scored 14 before today, and it always helps when you have a good free taker. Elsewhere, I can tell you it's now Derry 2 points and Wicklow 2 points in the other junior semi-final, or not semi-final actually, that's the last round of games. That's the stage that they are at. And there's a relegation playoff semi-final in intermediate, and it's Roscommon 1 goal, Longford 3 points, so nothing in it there after 15 minutes, also very low scoring. And Laois are playing Wexford in the other intermediate semi-final, so the winners of that will play the winners of this. But I don't have an, oh I do have an update actually. It's Laois 1-2, Wexford 1-3. Kelly Kearney has given Wexford the lead there, but very close. And in that Roscommon game, it was Rebecca Finnan drawing her team level with her first point, and Roscommon's first point of the game is now 1-1 to 4 there, Roscommon against Longford. So at the latest scores as Westmeath prepared to come back out. Quick update from one of those other games. It's Laois 1-2, Wexford 1-4. Amy Wilson with a Wexford free. So Wexford 2 up going into the water break in that one. Going into the water break here, or rather coming out of it, it's Westmeath with a 2 point lead, but it's been a pretty much 50-50 game. Looks much better obviously for Westmeath because of the goals. There's their goalkeeper, Lauren McCormick from Mullingar Shamrocks. But yeah, those two terrific goals for Westmeath put them in the driving seat, but they'll not be too comfortable because apart from that, Kildare have given them a lot of troubles and have scored 6 times. This is Aoife Brady getting it to McCartan, one of the goal scorers, all the way out around the middle of the field. They obviously rotate their full forward line, and I'm looking off camera to see the movement. And they do like to spread the play, as I have mentioned a few times, with good accurate kick passing. And now Claffey is bursting through, and she plays it soccer style in behind, and Archibald is there claiming a foul for a push in the back, and the referee looks like he's thinking about it and is blown once or twice, but is actually telling Archibald, I made the decision there, there's nothing in it, get on with the game. McGinn is the Kildare goalkeeper, likes to go short, but this time, first time, she's gone long, and it's quite easily won in there by Lucy Power from the Downs club for Westmeath. Bursts through as well, gives it to Archibald. She tries to give a kick pass, but that's brilliant defending in there by Leisha Lanahan, the fullback for Kildare. That's what caused the turnover. Super play, and this is Keneally, always available on the right side of the field here, and she goes for a ball over the defence, or she tried to get it over for Murphy, and Murphy is hustling for it, but is hustling illegally. But you can see what Keneally was doing there. with a bit of luck for them, that could have dropped very kindly and it would have been a one-on-one with the keeper, but good defending by Westmeath. That's Tracy Dillon kicking it in low to McCartan. Dillon again involved. So this is McCartan. Actually, McCartan involved now. It was Blundell over on the right side. This is Kildare, though, breaking. And they've dealt really well with the Kildare forwards in the last 5 minutes or so. Claire Sullivan very keen to get involved. Gives it to Ciara Wheeler. And Kildare definitely have their tails up and they're playing confidently. This is Gilbert. Definitely underdogs today, but they're giving it everything and playing extremely well. And why not? They've scored 6 times. Westmeath have only scored 4 times. This is the fullback Lorraine Duncan from Gary Castle coming out with it. This is McCartan, the full forward, fullback to full forward. It's Anna Jones getting a foot in there and doing well. Getting it to Claffey. Lots of white jerseys back. Look at the amount of white jerseys in the shot there. But it's the Westmeath jerseys who get the ball. And it goes wide from Dillon. Disappointing finish from her. But yeah, Westmeath having difficulty now because Kildare working really hard. That was probably the message in the water break, that they have to work harder and close the gaps when Westmeath are attacking so they don't concede any more goals. So they've responded to that, but that obviously would take a lot out of them. But lovely passing play here from Kildare to get it out to the far side, and that was Aoife Radigan, 15, who played it. And the chance now is for Lara Curran. She's been very accurate from frees. She gives it back out from play though, and that's going to drop dangerously, but it's easily enough dealt with by the goalkeeper for Westmeath, McCormick, and now they will break, and Archibald is back there. And you just sense that there's already more room in the game than there was earlier on, and teams just patiently building it up, looking for the pass. And here comes that pass now, another super ball in, and it goes to Sarah Dillon, who leaves it off to Jones. Westmeath so slick and accurate in their passing when they get going. Now they pop it in to Anna. Is that Jones in there, or is it Blundell? Either way, it seems to go over the bar, and it has indeed. And yes, it was Blundell, number 13. I thought it was 12 from those numbers. They look very, very similar, but it's definitely Blundell's style. 2-6 before today, and there's another point today, and that's their first score in quite a while, so that'll settle them a little bit, and they've restored their 3-point lead. Super defending there by Tara Fagan from Mullingar Shamrocks for Westmeath. Dillon was brave in the tackle to get it on to Blundell. It may go over the end line. No, she actually keeps it in, does really well there, and comes inside. Seemed to be in 2 minds there, and loses possession. And Keneally is always keen to get on the break when Kildare get in possession. She's always available. That's good, sensible ball, and she gets it back as well. Now, what can she do? Oh, she just loses possession and then gets it back at the last minute, but she's been crowded out, and in the end is blown for over carrying. She just spilled it at the crucial moment there. Westmeath will come again. No, they won't. It's turned over, and Dooley, the full forward, is all the way out there, and the referee will take that. Kildare more concerned with getting on with it and getting it in to the full forward line to Wheeler, and she has Murphy there with her if she needs her. She's trying to do it all herself, and the referee will blow that for over carrying. And Kildare just not as clinical when they get in front of goal or near goal, but Westmeath also had a lot of players back. Oh, what a brilliant ball again from Westmeath, and another one. They're super at these long kick passes, and that's what created at least one of the goals. Kildare don't know how to cope with that. It's always a great skill, and there's a dangerous one. Keeper took it well. I'm not sure if she was definitely going for goal there or not, but it was well dealt with by McGinn either way. Might have been a cheeky little attempt at a goal. And again, Westmeath giving up cheap possession, and Kildare looking to break. This is Clifford giving it to Burke. And Burke holding it up now and then tries to get past Archibald. She'll get her free, although Kildare, I can sense, are a little bit unhappy about the amount of fouling around that area and about it being held up. Now the referee is making it tick, but I'm sure they'd be much happier with getting on with the game, because Westmeath now have a time to filter back. Still, it's Kildare on the ball. They have possession. Keneally gives it back to Burke. They're now having to take their time and see if they can find a way through. This is Keneally, tempted to go long, but goes short instead to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan and Keneally both in the defence forces and both with the Eadestown club. O'Sullivan originally from Sligo, Keneally from Waterford. There's the high ball now, which is dangerous because Dooley is under it and she goes on her left foot, pivots on that and kicks it, but it's just gone to the left and wide. But you can see Kildare a little bit frustrated there, because Kildare rather a little bit frustrated. Westmeath very organised at the back, and once they got a few players back after giving away the free, there was no way through. McCormack, the goalkeeper, finds Jones in lots of room. Finding possession easy to get from the kickouts. Fiona Claffey now from the Foxrot Cabin TD club. She speeds off and goes inside the centre half back. Gilbert trying to create a chance for Archibald, who swings a leg at it, but it goes to the right and wide. So a pretty tense opening 27-28 minutes, and that's understandable with so much at stake. But it's still close. Claire Sullivan coming out with it, giving it to Ciara Wheeler, to Burke. Sullivan, and this is good work by Kildare, using the full pitch. That was Gilbert who's given it out to Gillian Wheeler. And now Kildare come, but this is where they have had difficulties. A point here would be nice from their point of view, but it's just gone to the right and wide. So a little bit frustrating for them. They've drawn a blank over the last 5 minutes, and they can't close that gap despite their best efforts. Some really nice play and a lot of hard work, but it's been coming to nothing. Now Kildare have a lot of shirts around the middle of the field. Lucy Parr for Westmeath decides to go down to the right wing, and that's a nice ball into Blundell, and she picks it up really nicely and speeds away. Soccer player, of course, with Peamount and with Ireland, and she gives it to Sarah Dillon, who goes for a point from there, but it goes wide. You get the feeling that they're just really sussing each other out in this first half, and the real fireworks will come after the break. So they're both staying in the contest. This is Burke. And Burke again. That's good work from her to give and go. Now this is where they need to profit, and this is where they need to be a little bit more clinical, and that's a good effort at being clinical, but it's just gone to the right, and that's another occasion where they've just maybe kicked it a little bit hurriedly. That's a couple of chances that they have missed that could have closed the gap. There's 3 in it, not insurmountable, but could definitely have been closer. They've had 1 goal threat where the captain Clifford hit the post, but it's Westmeath who have been more dangerous in front of goal, and of course that makes a difference. And that's why they're 3 points up. They haven't loads of possession, and they haven't really done much in terms of goal interest since then, but they took their 2 goals brilliantly. Clifford, the captain. Kildare good at moving the ball around. They've done that quite confidently, but haven't always had an end result. Dooley has been kept well away from the goal area, so that's credit to the Westmeath defence for that. They obviously spotted that danger and knew they needed to keep an eye on her, and that's exactly what they've done. It's all happening in the other semi-final. It's now Laois 2-3, Wexford 1-7. So Wexford 1 point up in the other semi-final. Over carrying there by Dooley, and I think that's symptomatic of the way things have been going for Kildare. They can't find a way through and they're a little bit frustrated and running out of ideas. Mo Nerney got a goal for Laois, as she usually does, but it's Wexford leading there by a point. Jenny Higgins has scored a goal for Roscommon. You'll not be surprised, she usually gets a goal as well. And that makes it Roscommon 2-1, Longford 5 points in the relegation playoffs. So Roscommon in charge there. And here comes Dillon. And Dillon swings at that, but it goes to the right and wide. And Westmeath have lost their way in front of goals. Clifford for Kildare holds on to possession and gets her free. The goalkeeper is McGinn, gives it to Gilbert. Kildare very adept in their approach play. Oh, and there Archibald goes down, and that was a painful one. She obviously felt a arm flying in her direction into her face, and I'm saying that very carefully because I'm not trying to make out it was deliberate, but you could tell immediately that she got a bang there, and that's always a nasty one and a painful one. But she looks like she'll be okay, and the referee isn't overly concerned about taking action as if it might have been deliberate. So we'll start with Kildare, and it's Ciara Wheeler back to Keneally. .33rd minute of the first half, and good work there by the fullback once again. Lorraine Duncan so keen always to get out in front. She's been a rock at the back there and making it a nightmare for the Kildare forwards. That's one of the reasons why Kildare haven't got a sniff of goal. They could get a point here though. This is Clifford, the captain, on her right foot. A point would be nice from their point of view just before the break, and that's what they've got. Grace Clifford, the captain from Edgetown, brings Kildare within 2 points. It was nicely created and nicely finished as well, and that makes it even more interesting for this second half. But the first half isn't over yet. This is McCartan. Tracy Dillon to Archibald. They're always looking for the ball into the forwards, even though the forwards have been outnumbered most of the time. They still have been very good at finding them. And there's Dillon, and that looked like she was shaping to score, but she actually just put it into the full forward area, and the referee has blown for half time. Maybe she heard the referee say, "I'm going to blow," and she just booted it. But it is half time, and it is Kildare 7 points, Westmeath 2-3. As I said before, it just feels like both teams are shaping up and seeing what each other is like and holding all their big guns until the second half and keeping in the game, and that's exactly what they are doing. Elsewhere, just before we take a break, in the junior championship, I can tell you it's round 5 there, not semi-finals just yet, last round of games, and Derry are beating Wicklow 5 points to 4, which is a little bit of a surprise because Wicklow have been the best team there by far in that group, and Derry really need to win today, and they're a point up, very low scoring. Maybe they're playing very defensive. Derry had worked for them against Antrim. Elsewhere in the playoffs, the relegation playoffs in the intermediate level, it's Roscommon 2-2, Longford 7 points with 1 point lead there rather from Roscommon. Longford have got back into it there, and it's Laois 2-3, Wexford 1-7. So it's a 1 point lead there for Wexford in that game. Those are the updates. The game here is nicely poised. We'll be back for what should be an exciting second half with the prize, a place in the final 2 miles up the road in Croke Park. We'll be back for the start of the second half. Welcome back to Parnell Park for the second half of the 2021 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship semi-final. We're just 2 miles from Croker. The winner of this will go there for a final on the 5th of September. So that's the prize. All 4 midfielders are the same as they were at the start of the game. I say midfielders, Kildare have 10 and 7 in there, but they did start at midfield. I'm looking around to see if there's any other changes. I'll keep an eye on that for you. I don't see any just yet. Brendan Rice, the referee, is keen to get started. It's Westmeath 2-9, Kildare 7 points, and there you see the crowd in for the game, and a nice shot there showing the backdrop for the game at Parnell Park, and the ball thrown in and won immediately by Westmeath, and it's Vicky Carr, the number 8, but Kildare sweep it up and then give it back immediately. Fiona Claffey now the captain of Westmeath, and you can tell there's a little bit more urgency about the second half. This is better from Westmeath. This is Claffey the captain again. There's definitely something in the water that they got at half time. They're a little bit sharper already, and this is Sarah Dillon turning and twisting, giving it to Archibald, and she immediately looks for the score, and she immediately gets it as well. She took one look and then put it over, a signal of intent at the start of the second half from Westmeath. I'd imagine they were told at half time, remember what happened in the final last year. You lost away to Meath, you need to get back to Croker again, get out there and up your game. That's what they've done. First minute of the second half, and Westmeath go into a 3-point lead again. Kildare had closed it to 2 at the end of the first half. If there is a wind out there at all, I'd say it's with Kildare in the second half, but I don't think it's anything significant. For Radigan wearing 15, but playing out around the middle. This is Burke playing around midfield, because that's where she started both halves. Gilbert sends it out to Ciara Wheeler, and she plays it in left-footed, and fortunately enough it goes to a Kildare player, because the Westmeath girl got out in front. I'm trying to see who it is, but this is definitely Curran, Lara Curran, and she kicks just to the right and wide for Kildare. She had to go for it, and I see a substitute is in there for Kildare. Number 19 is on for Kildare, and that is Ellen Dowling from the Suncroft club. So change for for Kildare at half time. This is Westmeath now on the ball with Aoife Brady. She was the only change in their team before the game. She came in for the injured Rachel Dillon. That was after Westmeath's victory over Clare. Archibald gets the free, but the referee is going to make her take it from the right place. She wanted to get on with it quickly. The referee wanted to kick the aggressor. Archibald now goes low to Blundell. And this is Sarah Dillon. She scored 316 in the championship before today and got that superb goal in the first half. So she scored 4 goals. And now she's on her left foot and goes just to the left and wide. That's Sarah Dillon. Good to see her back after all her injuries. The kick out is long, but too long for Kildare, because Lucy Power is there. And Westmeath having the better of the exchanges early in the second half. First 3 minutes has more or less belonged to them. The two Fionas linking up there, Coyle and Claffey. Now Power. And this is Fiona Coyle from the St Mary's Club, and this is the full forward McCartan, who got the second goal. Much better from Westmeath at the start of this half, and that is Sarah Dillon firing it over the bar after a super move, very incisive and very clinical at the end of it. And it was created by Coyle, but really it was created by about 4 or 5 good passes in there. And they punished the goalkeeper's kick out by moving it around nicely and scoring right away. And the goalkeeper going to the right side this time, but although Burke managed to keep it in, it's Westmeath possession again. And this is a period in the game where Westmeath could pull away, because they've definitely stepped things up. They have a 4-point lead, and the way they're going, actually they have a 5-point lead. They have 2 points in this half, Dillon's was the second. Claffey has support, but she's going the direct route. Now she's looking for support. And the referee will bring it all the way back and give her a free. But Kildare struggling at the start of the second half here to contain Westmeath. Anna Jones will come over from Mullingar Shamrocks. Quite a few of her club mates are here today. The goalkeeper, Lauren McCormick, Niamh Spellman, Tara Fagan, all from the Shamrocks club. Karen Hegarty, of course, in the subs is from that club too. And Anna, tough one for a right-footed kicker, that, and it goes to the left and it goes wide. And more concerning is that there is a Westmeath player has gone down rather quickly, and that's not a good sign. Brendan Rice goes over to try and help. The Westmeath medical people are on their way, but there is a bit of movement there. That's always good to see. And that's Ciara Blundell. She must have got a bang to the head there, but she looks to be on the road to recovery there. And talking of the Westmeath subs, I mean, it's a very strong bench there, because they've the likes of Kelly Boyce Jordan from Milltown, who won the All-Ireland Intermediate Club here 6 years ago. They've Karen Hegarty, who I mentioned. They've Johanna Maher, and they've Jenny Rogers in there, just to name a few. Annie Dolan is in there too. So good, strong panel. Those are girls who in other years might well have started. Blundell's okay, and will be restarted by the goalkeeper. That's McGinn for she's from Westmeath, but she's with Kildare today. Her last two kickouts went long, and Westmeath scooped it up. At this time she's gone short, and Westmeath have still got it. That's Archibald in there, who intercepted and then was pushed. So Kildare pinned in at the start of the second half. They're moving the ball around much quicker in the second half, and the shot comes in now. That should be easily dealt with, and it is. The effort from Vicky Carr. Now Kildare might have a chance to break, but I can see off camera that Aoife Brady has raced back into a sweeper role for Westmeath, but no need, because they turned it over. Carr to Claffey. Westmeath controlling affairs in the first 7 minutes of this half. They're not out of sight, but they are in control, and Kildare looking a little bit jaded. They're under a lot of pressure in there. 5 down. And this is Dillon. Looked like she was thinking about it, but thinks better of it. Comes out to Claffey. And Westmeath, with so many players available, Power gives it out to McCartan. She turns brilliantly there. Drops the shoulder. Thinking about the left maybe, but is held up, and the referee is going to give a free for overcarrying, and Kildare have a chance to capitalise. But look at the amount of Westmeath jerseys around the one Kildare jersey. They just can't get out, Kildare. Good low ball in from Archibald, though it's been well spotted by Keneally. Another chance for Kildare to break, but they need to get more players forward to get past this blanket of maroon jerseys. Need to just hold it up a little bit, but as I said a few minutes ago, Westmeath are very quick to get players back and to get a sweeper in there. And look at this tackling by their forwards as well. That was a good effort by Blundell. Clifford, though, for Kildare, they finally get over the halfway, and a good kick pass into the forwards as well, and Dooley will race into the corner to get that, and she does get it, the full forward for Kildare. She's always good for a goal, but she hasn't had a sniff here today because of the great defending. That's an ambitious effort from the left hand side, and I think it was wide, but either way the referee is going to bring it back and give a free. But a little bit more enterprising from Kildare. They're trying to keep calm on the sideline there, as you see. Don't panic just yet. Checking the watch. Both checking their watches. If they can get this one back, it would be a 3-point game, is that? I'm trying to do my sums here. 11-7. Yeah, I thought there was 2 in it actually. Oh yeah, there was 2 in it at the break, and they've got 2 points since. Sorry, I said there was 5 in it a few minutes ago. There's 4 in it. And this could make it 3 and make it very interesting. A tough angle though, but she's coped brilliantly before, and she's coped brilliantly again. That's Lara Curran. She is deadly accurate from those frees, and it has really helped to keep her team in it. But Westmeath getting possession from the kick out a little too easily from a Kildare point of view, and they will come again. So was that a one-off, that Kildare break and score? We shall see. Westmeath are off and running again with Claffey. 3 in it. Kildare tackling a little bit too aggressively there for the referee's liking. It's all Leinster in the semi-finals, and both of them. That's where the top 4 teams on form at intermediate level are from. Laois against Wexford in the other game. Kildare quick to capitalise and quick to boot the ball forward, but it's well read in there, and that's Duncan in there. She's not happy about the challenge from behind, and that's the 3rd or 4th time that Duncan has got out in front in one of those 1-to-1 areas. She's so alert and so quick to get out, and that always breaks the heart of the Kildare forwards, and she's been a key reason at keeping them at bay. She's had a super game. Coil for Westmeath, but that's Clifford working well for Kildare, the captain, with some great work. Now she is under pressure herself. Referee says play on. There was a bit of a coming together there. Now Kildare still very much in this game, but having to work very hard for anything they get. Clifford with another sensible ball way out to the left here, and this is Gillian Wheeler. She scored 1-5 before today, and she's trying to move inside, but 2 players come in and sandwich her there. The referee says it was legal, and it's Westmeath who will break through Coyle. And now Jones, she plays it low down to Sarah Dillon, and she does brilliantly to get out in front, and that's where a big difference is. And that's a very clever ball into the danger area there, looking for, I think it was McCartan in there. Didn't get there though, but they are better at getting out in front, the Westmeath forwards. Dillon now to Jones. Westmeath come again, and they're trying to get in behind, but that's well watched by Shauna Kendrick. The game really opening up now and becoming very interesting. 12 minutes into the second half. Just 3 points, and it looked Duncan out in front again. She doesn't get it this time though. Gillian Wheeler on her left foot. That could be very dangerous, because in the end, on the edge of the square, that's Dooley in there, and she goes down, and the referee has whistled right away, and he looks like he's going to give a penalty. Yep, penalty, 3 points in it. This game has got very interesting, and Nessa Dooley says sorry to her teammate there, but you fouled me, and she looks intent on taking it as well. We'll see it again. There goes the challenge. The ball is broken, and little tap on the back, and also it looked like Spellman came in there as well, and she went down, Dooley, and a penalty awarded right away by Brendan Rice, who is now having a little bit of a laugh with Dooley about where to take it from. So 13 minutes into the second half, a crucial moment in the game. Nessa Dooley against Lauren McCormick, 3 points down. She needs this to level it, and she puts it in the corner, and she does level it. Expertly taken. Dooley for Kildare has levelled it from the Castle Dermot club. 3-9 before today. That's her first goal today, and we are level. Westmeath made a brilliant start to the second half, but Kildare, out of almost nowhere, have levelled it. And Westmeath now have to try again after the big effort they put in at the start of the second half. They must now be wondering what they need to do. That's great work by Ciara Wheeler, and she gives it to Clifford. Kildare have Westmeath rocking, and look at this, one white jersey and about 10 from Westmeath, but she still gets her kick away. And Westmeath getting lots of players back, but they're not stopping the attacks. 44 minutes gone. Westmeath led by 4. They've led for the entire game. And now they find themselves level coming up to the water break. Lorraine Duncan at the start of that move for the penalty. The ball evaded her. She tried to get out in front, but on one occasion that she didn't, Kildare profited. A super ball into the middle, and Dooley got her penalty. Leisha Lenehan, the full-back, gets it to the full forward, Nessa Dooley. And here comes Dooley again. And she shoots confidently on her right, but a little bit too hurried. And it goes to the left and wide. And she knows that she could have taken another step there or composed herself. She just maybe felt that she couldn't miss because she was on form. But that would have given them the lead. And I think Duncan is down in a little bit of pain and will need a little bit of treatment. I think the fullback for Westmeath, and indeed the referee is going in there. There's the subs warming up for Westmeath. I did mention that they have an excellent bench, the likes of Karen Hegarty, Johanna Maher, Kelly Boyce Jordan. They must be thinking seriously about those options now. And you see they are there discussing it. Tommy Carr, Carol Finch, they're all getting together to decide, and they must be wondering what to do about these Kildare girls, because there's a Kildare captain, Grace Clifford, in the foreground, and her team now must be thinking Croke Park on All-Ireland final day. They have got themselves back into this game. All the questions are being asked of Westmeath. They've given everything. They've been ahead. They seem to be in control. They started the second half well, but still Kildare have managed to level. So what do they do? What do they do? Do they stick or do they twist? Lots of room for Aoife Brady. Now Jones plays low into Dillon. She gets out in front. Good patient defending though from Kildare to just hold them out there, and again good defending as well. No fouls, and Clifford comes in there and nearly steals it, and they do steal it in the end, Kildare. And they just seem to have Westmeath's number all of a sudden. And they are breaking as well through Dooley. Scored from a penalty, and now she's out the field, but she's been blocked down. But everything seems to be breaking for Kildare. Even when they're blocked down, it goes to a Kildare player. They're having definitely their best period of the game. This is O'Sullivan. This is Keneally. Oh, and it's just over the head of Wheeler. And Westmeath will have a chance to break 17 minutes into the second half. So we will be looking at a water break very shortly, and I'd say Westmeath will be quite pleased about that, to get their players in and just settle them and energize them for the last push. Kildare 1-8, Westmeath 2-5, 11 each. That's Tara Fagan, the number 4, all the way up there, trying to help the attack. Lucy McCartan being held out in the corner there by Kendrick. Comes back to Archibald. Oh, and this time it's McCartan evading Kendrick. Gets it back to Archibald, though they're not really getting anywhere. And good defending as well. Oh, or has the referee penalised them? He has. I thought it was good defending from here. They had 3 players around there, but the referee says that one of them committed a foul. So they look to be keeping them at bay. But this is a chance for Jones to put Westmeath back in front. Looks pretty perfect for a right-footed kicker. Not too far out. She connects well. And Westmeath are back in front. I thought that would have been time for the water break, but we play on. Kildare have sat back the last 3 or 4 minutes after their goal, though. They're still only 1 point down, but They need to give a little bit more, and that was Duncan, of course, getting out in front of again and denying possession. Now we have the water break. So a fascinating situation here in Parnell Park. And you can see there the Bannister is saying, calm down, take it easy here. Let's think about this, let's regroup. It is a water break, but there's no doubt they're going to use this just to have an important word with the players about the last quarter. Elsewhere, the other semi-final, it's Laois 2-6, Wexford 1-11. So Wexford just in front there. 2-point game there for Wexford. So at the minute it's Wexford against either Kildare or Westmeath, and it's Westmeath in front here, but just by a point. In the relegation playoff, it's Roscommon 3-8, Longford 9 points. So it looks like Roscommon are on their way there to securing their intermediate status. And in the junior championship, it's very close. It's Derry 1-7, Wicklow 1-6. Wicklow haven't been beaten there. They're already qualified for sure. Derry need to win that one. That would be a big result for Derry if they get it. But the big drama here in Parnell Park was the penalty awarded to Kildare that brought them right back into the game, and it means that there is just 1 point in it now. Since then, Westmeath have added a point, so they're a point ahead. The whistle goes to restart, and Grace Clifford, the Kildare captain, gets us underway. She'll be dreaming of the steps of the Hogan stand in a few weeks' time. That's the ambition for her or Fiona Claffey or one of the captains from the other side. Dooley now for Kildare. Back to Wheeler, Ciara Wheeler. This is O'Sullivan. Back to Wheeler. And Wheeler is dispossessed there, but it falls nicely for Clifford, and there's still a chance here for Kildare. Point down. Oh, what a super pass that is. And it is a chance that has not been taken. Still might be some kind of profit there, but in the end the referee brings it all the way back, and there could still be an equaliser on here for Kildare. Lovely pass inside there. 21 there you see for Westmeath. Joanna Maher is preparing to come on. She's been a fabulous servant to Westmeath down the years. And you can see there the slip is being passed on, and Johanna will be coming on soon. What a player to bring on. And they might need it because Lara Curran has levelled it. Lara from Milltown has been deadly with the frees all day. Oh, and that kick out nearly went to Dooley. Westmeath managed to get away with it, and this is Tara Fagan. And a little bit of support for her, and Lucy Power goes left to Archibald, and she has Dillon outside her, uses Dillon, and this is Coyle. Westmeath get it to Dillon, and she shoots, but it's gone well to the right, and it's gone wide. It's a level game in Parnell Park. It's very interesting, very exciting, very tense. Substitute coming on. That's Johanna Maher from Tyrrell's Pass, and she replaces Tracy Dillon from Milltown. That's the goalkeeper surveying her options, Dervla McGinn from Maynooth. The referee just holding things up a little bit because we have another substitution, and it's on the Kildare side, and Lara Gilbert, the number 6, is being replaced. In fact, I think it's 2 substitutions because it looks like Gillian Wheeler is also being replaced by Michaela McKenna from the Nafane club. So 2 changes for Kildare. Not all over between Roscommon and Longford, because Longford have just scored a goal in that relegation playoff. 17 is on for Kildare. That's Molly Aspel from Kilcullen. So 3 new players into the game. And here is Aspel. What can she do for Kildare? Scores are level. Croke Park is the prize on All-Ireland final day. Who is going to come up with something special in the last few minutes? There's a lovely ball inside from Aoife Radigan, and it's taken by the substitute. But Aspel puts it to the right and wide. So much at stake in the closing moments of this game. Who can keep a cool head and who can come up with something special? This is Niamh Spellman getting her free. Claffey takes it quickly. And now directing the traffic is Maher, I think, and she gets her free as well. That's Maher, and she plays a lovely ball into the forwards, and you should make a difference. A class act, and it means that Westmeath are on the attack now, and this is Lucy McCartan from the St. Lomans club, right out in the right corner forward position. She's been held up, so she goes back. Kildare's defending has been exemplary ever since the 2 goals in the first half. They've really shut up shop. Sarah Dillon outside the scoring zone, but plays a nice low ball into Blundell. And she comes back out to Maher, and she goes for her own score. Is this going over? It's certainly got the height, but it might drop short, and it drops, and it may end up in the net. Is the referee going to give that? It looks like he is. He's signalling to his umpire, and they both seem to be in agreement that that is okay. They have awarded the goal, and that's a crucial moment in this game. Let's see it again. A high ball from Maher, the substitute, who has just come in. The goalkeeper got her hands to it. There was a challenge there from Jones, and it spilled over the line, and that could be the moment that sees Westmeath into the All-Ireland final. But Kildare, I imagine, will not be happy with it. So a goal out of nowhere for Westmeath gives them a 3-point lead. O'Sullivan, and as a player has gone down in a heap just over to the right. It looks like she's got cramp, or she's definitely calling for help right away. Play goes on for Kildare, who have been rocked by that goal, but they're trying to get right back into the game. And this is Michaela McKenna, who has just come in. They're playing around the injured player who looks to be in distress. She's now getting treatment, thankfully. Burke gives it to Keneally for Kildare, and the wheels have come off for Kildare in the last few minutes. And Westmeath are in control now, and Claffey gets her free, and that will hold the play up, and the referee will take a tick. And it looks like cramp over on the far side for the Kildare player, who is down. Claffey is down as well, and is up pretty sharpish, and we'll get on with the play. It's all happening here in Parnell Park in the closing stages. A goal for Westmeath out of nothing. McCartan to Dillon. She's the only one of the 3 Dillon sisters on the pitch at the moment. And Westmeath just taking their time. Kildare very anxious to get a substitute in there, so they're down to 14 at the moment. And Westmeath very happy with the situation now as Claffey gets it to Maher, and she has made a difference. She's won a free there as well. Using all her experience, she's looked very lively since she has come on. And I don't know if she was going for a goal, but certainly it ended up in a very, very important strike. So Lauren Murtagh, I think, has had to go off. Or is it Wheeler? Yeah, Lauren Murtagh didn't start the game. She's wearing number 5, but didn't start, but is now into the play in place of Ciara Wheeler. That's the change Kildare have had to make. Actually, I'm trying to confirm that for you because it's quite confusing, and there's a lot of blonde-haired players on the Kildare team. Yeah, number 5 is still out there. Lauren Murta is out there, apologies. So it's Ciara Wheeler who has gone off. Siobhan O'Sullivan for Kildare. Nice little dummy solo to come inside. Kildare not out of this, but they're going to have to do it the hard way. They were rocked with that strange goal a few minutes ago when they got back to level. So can they manufacture a goal? They've scored 1 goal from a penalty, but haven't really threatened a goal apart from that. This is their substitute, Aspel. She gets it to another sub, Dowling, and the kick comes in. Oh, and it's just going to drop short, and there was a moment there where you thought the keeper had lost it. Michaela McKenna got the kick in, all the subs combined there. But McCormick in the end dealt with it well, but it was close. It was tense. Westmeath coming forward in waves now. Blundell is there, and they'll just take their time and they'll move it around because they have players over and they're very adept at doing this. And we're now in injury time. Maher plays it into Blundell. Actually, that's McCartan, and she spills it off to Jones. And Westmeath coming in search of an insurance score here. McCartan will come all the way back to Maher. Is she going for another of those Gary Owens? She is, you know, and this is what caused the trouble before, and it nearly goes into the net and catches the goalkeeper. She manages to recover on this occasion, but Maher has caused a lot of trouble for the Westmeath goalkeeper since she's come on. That was a clever and maybe even a cheeky effort from Maher. Didn't quite work, but it was a great idea. Kildare running out of time. The Croke Park dream is on hold. They're deep into injury time. They're going to need a goal here. A point won't be enough, but they're not even going to get close to it at this rate. But they have a free, a foul by Maher. And that's a tired looking effort from Radigan. She gets her free. '62nd minute in Parnell Park. Westmeath lead by 3. Another sub for Kildare. And Radigan, who I said looked a little bit tired, is being replaced. 22 is in for Kildare. That's Hazel McLaughlin from Aidstown. And I think there's another change, and is it a Westmeath sub coming on? It is, you know, Lucy McCartan going off to be replaced by Karen Haggerty, that looks like, and Karen wearing 20. There she is, she's into the play. Those are the changes. Is there more drama in Parnell Park? Westmeath leading by 3. 63rd minute. Lara Curran hits it high and hopeful. And there's a push there, which will mean a welcome free for Westmeath. And Archibald says, I'll just take my time here. And I'll go back to my goalkeeper. We're in no rush here. Now, Kildare need a turnover. They need to get that ball. 63 minutes, and they're going to get that ball because that's gone straight to Keneally. Kendrick now gives it to Aspel. Kildare running out of time. They need a goal. A point not enough at this point. Hazel McLaughlin just into the play. Fresh legs. She gives it to her captain. Clifford come back to Burke. Oh, and that's intercepted by Johanna Maher. What a difference she has made in this game. She's bursting through tackles. 2, 3, 4 players she goes past. What a difference. What a experienced player has made such a difference in this game. And Westmeath glad to hold possession. 64th minute off the play. 3 up. They might try and go 4 up. They might even try to finish it. And it was Dillon there, but she was blocked out in the end. Is there one last chance for Kildare? The referee holds up his arm. He's letting play go. And Kildare have players over here. We're in the 65th minute in Parnell Park. It's very tense, and the referee is going to... What is he going to do? Definitely given a free, and he's taking a name as well, and it looks like he's taking the name of Vicky Carr, and he is. A yellow card deep into injury time. We had a quiet first half, but we are having a dramatic finish to this game. Westmeath down to 14 in the 65th minute, 5 minutes into injury time. Kildare 3 points down. They need a goal. They need it from anywhere. This is Siobhan O'Sullivan. The Westmeath defence is set up. Can they find a way through? The prize is a place in Croke Park in the All-Ireland final in a couple of weeks, but Kildare need a goal. They need it from anywhere. It needs to come right now. The shot comes in, but it's very high, and it's wide as well from Lauren Murtagh. And it looks like Westmeath may have survived. 66th minute of the game. Play continues. 2 Kildare players there, and it's Murtagh who gets it to... This is Murtagh, and she gets it to Curran. Is there a chance of a goal? They go low. Keeper watches it all the way. There were a few deflections there, but well watched by Lauren McCormick. Westmeath on the attack. And there is the final whistle, and Westmeath are back in the final. They were hurting from last year's defeat in the final to Meath, and you see there what it means for them to get back to Croke Park. They have fought off the challenge of Kildare. A late goal, a strange goal as well, it has to be said, has got them through. They have survived an almighty battle here in Parnell Park. The management are, of course, delighted. And it's Westmeath who will play either Laois or Wexford in Croke Park in a couple of weeks' time. It's ended 3-6 to 1-9, a tense game, eventually decided by that late goal. Not much between the teams at all. They know each other well, and it was quite a battle between them. And you see the relief there, Anna Jones with Vicky Carr there, and that is Tara Fagan. And it's Westmeath who will go forward to headquarters in a couple of weeks' time and play in the final. Disappointment for Kildare. They gave it everything, and they looked like they were going to finish strongly. And then that last, has to be said, almost a freak goal where it dropped in out of the skies and it fell over the net and was given. And they will point to that, and they will be very, very disappointed. But it's definitely Westmeath who go forward. And just to pick out a couple of players before we finish for Kildare, their goalkeeper Dervla McCann was very, very steady. And of course Erica Burke and Shauna Kendrick, their only 2 survivors from 2016, gave it everything today. Their midfield worked very hard, O'Sullivan and Keneally, and in the forwards Lara Curran was excellent from frees. Grace Clifford, the captain, was always busy. The Wheeler sisters were terrific as well, and Radigan worked hard around the middle of the field, and Dooley of course got the penalty. But at the end of the day, it's Westmeath's day. Lorraine Duncan was smashing at full back, always out in front. And elsewhere in the team, their midfield worked extremely hard. Vicky Carr and Tracy Dillon. Archibald always involved. Their forwards always so dangerous, but Kildare kept them at bay for a lot of the time. Sarah Dillon scored the goal of the game, a lovely chip into the top of the net. Anna Jones, Lucy McCartan, Ciara Blundell, and of course the captain Claffey. They all contributed hugely, but you have to also pick out the substitute Johanna Maher, number 21, came on and made a huge difference when it was needed in the last 10 minutes of the game. But for player of the match, I would give it to Lorraine Duncan from Garrycastle, the fullback. But they won't mind who's player of the match. They're just happy to be back in the final. They'd get another crack at it. They lost last year, but they are back in the final. I'm just going to check before I leave you if the other semi-final has been finished. It was Laois against Wexford, and it was very, very close. Wexford were ahead, and I'm told now that it's 2-11 to 2-7. It's 4 points in it, and Wexford leading. So it looks like Westmeath against Wexford in the TG4 2021 All-Ireland Intermediate Final. So it's been tense, it's been exciting at the end, and it's Westmeath who go forward to the final. We hope you enjoyed the coverage from Parnell Park. It's goodbye.